the chillest spot for IT walkthroughs and reviews, Tech Stack Lounge.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Proxmox.
Specifically Proxmox VE.
Yeah, Proxmox VE.
If you're into home labs like me,
oh yeah,
get ready because this
is awesome.
This is a game changer.
It is. So Proxmox VE is an open source platform for running virtual machines and containers all on one server.
And it's free.
And it's totally free. That was like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
When I first heard about Proxmox, I was like, wait.
No licensing fees?
It's free. No licensing fees. Sign me up.
Huge for home labbers.
Huge for home labbers. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's like you can have a virtual playground and you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what makes Proxmox so special.
All right.
I think one of the first things that really stood out to me was how user-friendly it is.
Oh, yeah.
It has this really nice web interface that makes managing everything so easy.
It is very intuitive. You can manage virtual machines, containers, your storage, networking.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much everything you need right from our web browser.
Yeah, it's so simple and straightforward.
But it also has full shell access if you want to go the command line route.
Oh, yeah, for all those command line ninjas out there. So it's the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, caters to beginners and advanced users.
Absolutely. So let's say like I'm running a bunch of services on Proxmox and suddenly my server decides to take a little nap.
Uh-oh.
What happens then?
Well, that's where Proxmox high availability clustering comes in.
Okay.
So you can have a backup server ready to go if your main one goes down.
Oh, nice.
So with clustering, your virtual machines can automatically migrate to another server in the cluster.
You never know when disaster might strike.
Right.
Your server could just decide to quit on you.
Yeah.
And speaking of precious things,
okay,
let's talk about data.
Data protection.
Backups. You know, we all know how important backups are.
Right.
Especially in a home lab environment where you might
Especially in a home lab.
Yeah, where you might be like experimenting with things and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me just try it.
So Proxmox has built-in backup and restore features.
Does it really?
Yeah, so you can schedule regular backups of your virtual machines and containers.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Yeah.
Because like with some of the other solutions that I've used in the past, it's like you have to set up all this complicated stuff.
Yeah, third-party tools.
Yeah, you have to do all this extra work.
Yeah.
And this just has it right there built in.
Yeah, it's very easy to use.
That's awesome. Because you can just try stuff out, and if it doesn't work,
you can always revert.
Now, this next feature I've heard about, and it sounds kind of like magic.
Oh, yeah.
Live migration.
It's pretty slick.
So what is live migration?
Imagine moving a running virtual machine from one server to another.
Okay.
Without any downtime.
Wait, so you're telling me I can move a virtual machine from one physical machine to another while it's running?
Without any interruption.
And it won't even interrupt the service.
That's live migration in a nutshell.
That's wild. Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's great for maintenance or if you want to upgrade your hardware.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to disrupt your services.
That's awesome. Okay, so on top of everything else, it has all these features and it's free. It's also super flexible when it comes to storage.
It is.
So I can use like local disks, network attached storage.
Yep.
Even like more advanced setups like Ceph or ZFS.
Exactly.
So like whatever I have in my home lab, like I can just use that.
It's very flexible that way.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I'm really curious about, and that is LXC containers.
Okay.
So I know that these are like lightweight virtual machines, but how do they compare to Docker? Because everyone's talking about Docker these days.
Right, Docker's very popular.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. LXC containers are like spacious apartments.
Oh, okay.
With multiple rooms.
Okay.
Perfect for running multiple services that need their own dedicated environments.
Okay.
Docker containers are more like those cozy studio apartments.
Right.
Great for single applications or microservices.
Gotcha. So like if I wanted to run a web server, a database, and a mail server, all in their own little separate environments, I could use LXC for that.
Exactly.
And they'd all be isolated from each other.
Yep. Each service would have its own isolated space.
Perfect. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Proxmox manages these containers just like virtual machines.
Oh.
So you get all the same benefits. Backups, snapshots, clustering.
Wow.
All that good stuff.
So I get the benefits of VMs, but like with containers, which are more lightweight.
Yeah, you get the efficiency and flexibility of containers.
That's awesome. This is making me want to go fire up Proxmox right now.
You should.
And just start playing around. But before I do that,
okay.
let's talk about installation.
All right.
How easy is it to get this thing up and running?
It's very straightforward.
Okay.
First, you're going to download the Proxmox ISO image from their website.
All right. Downloading ISOs, a classic Homelab move.
Right.
Been there, done that.
Yep. And then you're going to create a bootable USB drive.
Okay, I can do that.
Using a tool like Rufus.
Right.
You boot your server from this USB drive.
Okay.
And you'll be greeted by the Proxmox installer.
Okay, so I assume it's pretty user-friendly from there.
It is.
Right.
You just follow the on-screen prompts,
Yep.
configure your disk partitions.
Okay.
And you can actually choose to use ZFS at this point.
Ooh, ZFS.
If you want.
Now, we've talked about ZFS a little bit, but
Yeah.
for those of us who might not know what it is,
Right.
can you give us like the quick rundown?
Yeah, ZFS is like the superhero of file systems. Very reliable.
Okay.
Offers great data integrity.
That's correct.
Protects your data from corruption.
That's important.
And it has features like snapshots and compression.
Oh, nice.
That can really improve your storage efficiency.
So ZFS is like having a super-powered storage system.
Yeah,
For my Homelab, that's going to keep my data safe and sound.
pretty much.
Okay, so I definitely want to look into ZFS.
And Proxmox makes it easy to use.
Well, that's good because sometimes these advanced file systems, they can be a little bit intimidating.
They can be.
Yeah. But you're saying Proxmox makes it...
It's very user-friendly.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll set up my disk partitions.
Yep.
Maybe use ZFS. And then I'll set up my network.
Right. And then you reboot.
And that's it.
And then you have a fully functional Proxmox environment.
It sounds almost too easy.
It is very easy to get up and running.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that, we have this really powerful platform. And it's so simple to install and get going.
Yeah.
But we've talked about ZFS.
Yeah.
We've talked about all these awesome features.
Right.
What other pro tips do you have up your sleeve for our listeners who are now ready to dive headfirst into Proxmox?
Well, one of the most important things is to set up backups from day one.
Yes, backups. We were just talking about that.
Right.
But it's so important.
It is.
It's worth repeating.
It's like having an insurance policy for your Homelab.
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught off guard if a virtual machine crashes.
Or if you delete something accidentally.
Time to delete something.
Yeah, or you're just like messing around and you're like,
Yeah, you make a mistake.
oh no, what did I do?
Yeah.
So backups are super important.
Set them up from the beginning.
All right, so backups are a must. What else?
Tap into the Proxmox community.
Oh, the community.
Yeah, there are forums,
Yeah.
online communities. Very welcoming community.
Yeah, it's like having a team of like Proxmox superheroes,
Yeah.
like ready to help you out with whatever you need.
Exactly.
So the community is amazing. So backups, the community, anything else?
Well, if you have multiple servers, experiment with clustering.
Oh, clustering.
It's a great way to learn about high availability and load balancing.
So it's like having a bunch of servers working together
Yes.
to keep my services running.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So clustering is definitely on my to-do list.
All right.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground in this first part of our Proxmox deep dive.
Yeah.
We've talked about its features, how user-friendly it is, the importance of backups, the power of ZFS.
Right.
Even touched upon clustering.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm itching to get back to my Homelab
Me too.
and start playing around with Proxmox.
I'm going to spin up some VMs,
Yes.
maybe a container or two.
Yeah,
It's going to be fun.
it is. So in the next part, we're going to dive into some specific use cases for Proxmox.
Yeah, we'll talk about things like setting up media servers, running game servers, creating your own personal cloud.
That's going to be awesome. All right, so stay tuned for part 2,
We'll be right back.
where we unleash the full potential of Proxmox
In your Homelab.
in your Homelab.
If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for your support.